pathwaysoflight.org. Welcome to the reading, A Course in Miracles Workbook, Lesson 56, Insights. Review of Lessons 26 through 30. I choose to remember that behind every conflict, behind every doubt, every fear, behind every thought of lack or vulnerability of any kind is God. And all the power of God lies beyond every barrier to God. I choose to go through the barrier, through the clouds, to God. With every apprehension, every concern, every worry that ever comes into my mind, I choose to go beyond it to God because I know that God is there. God is there because God is everywhere. It is only my crazy ideas founded on being separate from God that could give me that illusion. Now I know that the illusion is not true. God is true. Love is true. Oneness is true. This is my life's work. This does not mean avoiding the worries or saying the worries are not there. It means walking through it and letting the door be opened to what is true. When I let the door be opened, the light that is always there brings clarity to my mistaken thoughts. The worry dissolves in the light of God. I let myself see clearly the difference between what is not real and what is real. I do not have to worry about what is not real. I do not have to be concerned about crazy delusions of limitation and lack because they simply are not true. I refuse to encourage belief in delusions, limitation, and lack when I know that they are not worthy of me or anyone. The grandeur that is the truth about the whole sonship is worthy of my remembering. I choose to add my support to that. I choose to add to the happiness of the world, not the false ideas of depression and belief in death. I choose to remember that freedom is for all. Above all else, I do want to see things differently, to see God in everything. I can do this because God is in my mind. Because God is in my mind, I am in heaven right now. If it doesn't seem like I am, then it is because I am believing in a false image of myself. I am grateful that I am always free to change what I believe. Because God is in my mind, His strength is with me. It is with His strength that I am able to change the world by changing what I believe is true. I am willing to let a new awareness into my mind, to open the door to the light of God. I am willing to let His light shine in all the dark corners of my mind, the fears, the guilt, the unworthiness. His light will show me that there is no cause for any of these dark shadows, and in that recognition, the shadows disappear. Light always dispels darkness. Light casts no shadows. Only barriers to light cast shadows. As I practice bringing each barrier, each fear, each thought of guilt or unworthiness to the light, I am shown they are not justified, for they have no cause. The barriers seem the barriers do disappear and the shadows with them. This is how I return to the awareness that I am in heaven now. It is truly my will to remember this. And so I dedicate this day to paying attention to my thoughts and looking at what I am allowing into my awareness in the moment. If it is not joy and peace and the love of God, then I bring it to the light so that I can see it clearly for what it is. And with the strength of God, let it go. This is how I will see differently. This is how I will see God in everything I see. This is how I will recognize that God is in my mind. I'm seeing a picture of myself standing on a bridge overlooking the sea of oneness. I've been guided by Spirit to cast the marriage ring with the ego into the glowing waters. I used to think that this ring was so beautiful, and now, with the help of Spirit, I've been able to see with cleared vision what was inscribed on that ring. The words there are fear, loss, envy, hate. I am grateful that the veil of confusion has been lifted. In that false marriage, I agreed to play the ego's game where no one wins and giving is losing. And if I dared to open to my reality, much complaining was heard by me. Real love, my true state of being, has no conditions. I tried to dim my light so I would fit with the ego. That took great effort. That was senseless and brought me a meaningless experience. In my real world, in heaven, with God, I am not asked to change or rearrange. I'm invited to be myself, to be only love. And so today I move into the true marriage with the help of Holy Spirit. I hold out my hand and see another hand in mine, a friend who makes no demands, helps me to remember, and stands with me forever in love. And so it is. Do you remember those pictures that used to be so popular? The ones that showed a pattern, but when you squinted just right, you saw a picture within the pattern. That is how I feel about my life. If I focus on my true self, I see one picture. I like this picture and it makes me feel good. I can start by focusing on just one small part of myself. And once I bring that happy image into focus, suddenly I see more and more images to bring me joy. If my focus shifts, I go back to the more familiar but unpleasant pattern I have been seeing all my life. It has images of pain, fear, and guilt. Though it makes me very unhappy, it is so familiar that I go there out of habit. I see this one image of remembered guilt, and that leads my eye to the next, and soon I am absorbed in this pattern and have lost my happier focus altogether. When I remember to shift my focus back, it can take a while to regain it. The fearful images can be compelling, and it is hard to take my eyes off them. The thing is, once you gain the happier focus, that is all you see. it is like the other pattern doesn't exist anymore. I think that the more I focus on the happy images the Holy Spirit shows me, the easier it will be to control my focus. I don't think it is hard. It just requires consistent practice. pathwaysoflight.org